بذكر الله ترتاح القلوب وتنزاح المتاعب والكروب.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. إنه من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد في الأولين وفي الآخرين وفي كل وقت وحين وفي الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين، عليه وعلى جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، الإخوة الكرام، الأخوات الكريمات، أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله جل وعلا في الأمر كله، فإن تقوى الله جل وعلا هي خير زاد في هذه الحياة ويوم يقوم الناس لرب العالمين. The believers, the excellence of Jerusalem and Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa in Palestine, the merits is the topic of today. Merits of Bayt al-Maqdis, Al-Quds al-Sharif, Yabus, Urushalim, Ilya, Bayt al-Maqdis, Al-Quds al-Sharif, all these names since 4,500 years, the age of Jerusalem, the city of prophets, the city of Yaqub, Ibrahim, Ishaq, Al-Asbat, Yusuf, Sulaiman, Dawood, Zakaria, Yahya, Isa, Musa, Harun. Prophets of Islam, prophets of faith, prophets of monotheism, prophets of Tawheed. The land that had, this land has hundreds of prophets' companions, Prophet Sahaba buried in the land of Jerusalem, the land of resurrection, the land of الساهرة. فإنما هي زجرة واحدة فإذا هم بالساهرة. Indeed, it will be but one shout, and suddenly they will be upon the earth surface, the Ard al-Mahshar, the land of resurrection, Jerusalem, Ard al-Sham, Palestine, Al-Quds al-Sharif. To learn more about this holy city, Islamic holy city, and teach. Learn and teach. Learn and teach your kids, children, youth, the future of the nation. Learn and teach them. The Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam was asked about this city. He answered, it is a holy land, the land of resurrection. That come in authentic narration, Imam Ahmad من حديث ميمونة مولاة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قالت يا نبي الله أفتنا في بيت المقدس، فقال أرض المنشر والمحشر أتوه فصلوا فيه فإن الصلاة فيه كألف صلاة فيما سواه. قالت أرأيت إن لم نطق أن نتحمل إليه أو نأتيه؟ قال فليهدى إليه زيتا يسرج به أو يسرج فيه، فإن من أهدى له كمن صلى فيه، أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. رواية ابن ماجه والطبراني في الكبير. It was narrated that Maymuna, the Prophet's wife, asked Al-Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, O Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, tell us about Bayt al-Maqdis, this city. He said, it is a land of resurrection and gathering. Go and pray there. Go and pray there. For one prayer there is like 1,000 prayers elsewhere. I said, what if we cannot travel? If we cannot travel and go there, he said, then send a gift to the house of Allah there. Then send a gift of oil to light its lamps. For whoever does that is like one who goes there. The believers, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, ثاني مسجد على وجه الأرض, is the second mosque ever on land. Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, the second one. First one, Al-Masjid Al-Haram, for humanity to worship Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Masjid Al-Haram, Mecca first, and the second Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, and between both 40 years. This come in narration, authentic narration, Bukhari. Abu Dharr reported that he asked Al-Rasul alayhi salatu wassalam, O Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, which masjid was built first on earth? He, Al-Rasul alayhi wasallam, replied, the sacred masjid in Mecca. Abu Dharr again asked, which was next? The Prophet answered, Masjid Al-Aqsa. Abu Dharr further asked, how long was the period between the building of the two masjids? The Prophet ﷺ said, 40 years. Al-Imam Al-Bukhari. The ulama mention and explain in this point, Al-Masjid Al-Haram built either by first building angels or Adam and angels, and rebuilt by Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Ismail alayhi salam. Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, same, built by Adam, built by angels, Adam and angels, and built again by Ibrahim, and built again by Sulaiman. This is the stages, historic stages for the building of both. And this is debate between scholars. Anyway, the first two masjid on earth, Al-Masjid Al-Haram fi Mecca, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, that reflect how the importance, how the merit, how the excellence of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. The believers, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, the first Qibla for believers, for Muslim, Ahl Tawheed. The first Qibla. Al-Rasul stayed 17 months, pray toward Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, and then receive order to change his face toward Al-Kaaba in Mecca. So 17 months, almost 17 months, prayer toward Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa in Jerusalem in Palestine. The believers, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is a gathering, is a conference, is the meeting of the prophets and messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam in this miracle, Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj. Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj, the first station in this journey, night journey from Mecca to Jerusalem, Al-Quds al-Sharif, and there is like meeting, conference, Al-Rasul Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam and all prophets of Allah alayhim jami'an as-salatu wassalam. And the leader in prayer was the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. So a special blessing for that. Special blessing for that place, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa in Palestine. Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, because its special position in faith in Islam, Al-Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam making that announce and making that order for Ummah. If you want to travel, true traveling should be to these three places: Mecca, Al-Madinah, and Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa in Palestine. Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, you should not undertake a special journey to visit any place other than the following three masjids, with the expectations of getting greater reward, to receive reward. The sacred masjid in Mecca, Kaaba, this masjid of mine, Masjid al-Madinah, the Prophet's masjid, and Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem. This place, the believers, has a special barakah, special blessing. That's why you see hundreds of righteous people, they ask it to bury over there. And many prophets close the Masjid Al-Aqsa right now, the grave of Ibrahim Al-Khalil and his wife Sarah, and his son Ishaq and his wife, and his grandson Yaqub and his son and his wife. So three prophets and their three wives in Maqbara, grave close to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, Madinat Al-Khalil, Khalil city. So special place. That's why make Musa alayhi salam, when death come to him, Musa died, passed away in Sinai. You know the story, what happened? He took his people from Egypt to Palestine, but in Sinai they argue with him and they rejected to go there because they're gonna fight. No, you cannot fight. You know the story. So they stayed 40 years in this area. 40 years. And the Hikmah al-Ulama mentioned why 40 years, not 5, not 10, not why 40 years. 40 years, they mentioned one of the reasons to change the generations, to have new generation that effort to go there. They have faith, they have power of faith, push them to go there. Because the generation that stayed in that place in Sinai for 40 years, they impacted by the culture, impacted negative by the Egyptian culture. That's why they make a cow to worship it as a god. This is a culture of Egypt at that time. So they make the same like them. They impacted by the culture. This is very important lesson for us. Take care of the culture and protect your own culture. Keep your identity alive in the house, in the heart of your kids, in the mind of your kids. Your culture, your religion, your faith, your iman, keep it alive. And no way for that except two places. Al-Masjid and your house. No other places in this environment. So you see this story of Musa, we learned that lesson, had many lessons, we learned that lesson. Allah kept them in Sinai for 40 years to change this generation who is impacted negatively by the Egyptian culture, and they have this khawar, this kind of weak faith or non-faith in the hearts of them. So it changed the generation to have different people who carry in their heart strong faith. During that, Musa alayhi salam passed away, and Harun alayhi salam also passed away in Sinai, in this area. So when death came to Musa, he asked Allah to move his body close to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Here's the point. He asked Allah to move his body to Masjid Al-Aqsa in Palestine, Jerusalem. The big distance, and at least like 400 kilometers, for 40 miles almost. So what happened? Passed away and buried him in Sinai, his brother, both. But when they move, the second generation, they take Musa with them, the body of Musa, and buried him there, close to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, responding the da'wah of Musa alayhi salam to Allah to get his body in close to Sinai, because the barakah and the blessing of that place. The believers, أقول قولي هذا إن كان من توفيق فمن الله وحده وإن كان من خلل ونقص فمني ومن الشيطان فأستغفر الله استغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له هو يتولى الصالحين وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الصادق الوعد الأمين. اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على هذا النبي المبارك وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, believers, Sulaiman the prophet, Sulaiman the king and the prophet alayhi salam, when he had this power and his kingdom after his father Dawood alayhi salam, he asked Allah that three da'wah, three supplication, three questions. He asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala three supplications. Number one, right judgment. Right judgment, because he was king and judge. So ask Allah to give him this barakah, blessing to judge between people rightly. The second da'wah, unique power. Unique power. No one owned this power before or after him. Till now, till the end of the life. The power at hand of Sulaiman is unique. Allah gave him the power over jinn and shayateen. SubhanAllah. Power to understand the language of and birds being around him. Power on wind. He can control the wind. Travel over the wind from place to another. There's unique power. No one receiver. Allah respond that. Allah respond that and give him this power. And the third da'wah, forgiveness for whoever visit Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Forgiveness. Whoever visit and pray in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa min Ahli Tawheed wal Iman. The believers, we should learn excellence of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, Jerusalem, the Holy Land in Palestine. Learn and teach your kids. Keep it alive. Tell the story of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, the history of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa for 1,500 years till now. Different names, different nations, different people come and take it, and Ahl Tawheed return it back through history many times. So learn and teach your kids your generation this and keep it alive in their heart. The believers, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to gift us a chance to visit there and pray in the Masjid Al-Aqsa. Ameen ya Rabb al-Alameen. Whoever can visit should visit. Whoever can visit should visit. Go there. Like we go to make Umrah, make Hajj. Give us this niyyah to visit for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and make that house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala active by Ahl Tawheed, people of Tawheed, people of Iman, of Islam, of faith. So if whoever can visit, go and visit. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to gift us chance to visit Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Ameen ya Rabb al-Alameen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to liberate Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Ameen ya Rabb al-Alameen. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت على الحق أقدامنا وانصرنا على من عادانا يا رب العالمين. نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار يا عزيز يا غفار. اللهم خذ بنواصينا إليك أخذ الكرام عليك. تب علينا توبة ترضيك وترضى بها عنا يا أكرم الأكرمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم اهدنا واكفنا واغننا واسترنا بسترك الجميل في الدارين يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب السماوات والأرض ورب العرش العظيم. طهر قلوبنا، زك نفوسنا، رق أرواحنا، اجعلها في عليين مع النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين وحسن أولئك رفيقا يا أكرم الأكرمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم اهدنا واهد أبناءنا وأبناء المسلمين أجمعين يا رب العالمين. حبب إليهم الإيمان وزينه في قلوبهم وكره إليهم الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلهم من الراشدين الناجحين المفلحين في الدنيا والآخرة يا رب العالمين. كل المسلمين في فلسطين يا رب العالمين. اللهم كل المسلمين في فلسطين وحرر المسجد الأقصى يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم كل المسلمين في فلسطين وفي كشمير وفي اليمن وسوريا وفي كل مكان يا رب العالمين. اللهم هيئ لهذه الأمة أمر رشد يعز فيه أهل الطاعة ويهدى فيه أهل المعصية يا رب العالمين. لملم شعث هذه الأمة، أمة التوحيد، أمة لا إله إلا الله، أمة الإسلام. اللهم لملم شعث هذه الأمة يا رب العالمين. نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار يا عزيز يا غفار. ارفع عنا البلاء والوباء والأمراض والأسقام برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. ولا تؤاخذنا بما فعل السفهاء منا يا رب العالمين. لا تعاملنا وتؤاخذنا بفعل الظالمين من بيننا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اشفنا واشف مرضانا وجميع مرضى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وجميع موتى المسلمين وارحمنا إذا ما صرنا إليهم يا رب العالمين. واجمعنا بهم عندك في جنة الفردوس واجعلنا جميعا من أهل حضرتك أهل النظر والشهود إلى وجهك الكريم يا أكرم الأكرمين يا رب العالمين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على هذا النبي المبارك وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. وأقم الصلاة.